Earliest fibers: flax, linen, in 34,000 BCE. The oldest known fibers, made from wild flax, were discovered in country of Georgia. What if today, the clothes you wear every day are silently harming your health, and polluting the earth? And what if the solution is something our ancestors have trusted for thousands of years? Cotton's emergence much later in 6000 to 5000 BCE. Cotton cultivation began independently in Peru, Gossypium barbadense, and the Indus Valley, Gossypium arboreum. The oldest cotton fabric fragments were found in Huacas Preta, Peru, 6000 BCE, and Tehuacan Valley, Mexico, 5500 BCE. This is the story of cotton, from sacred seed to soft healing fabric, and why its comeback is urgently needed today globally. The oldest evidence of cotton comes from the Indus Valley civilization, around 6,000 years ago, where people spun, dyed, and wore cotton long before it reached the West. It was also used in ancient Egypt, woven into linen like robes fit for pharaohs. And independently, cotton thrived in Mesoamerica, used by the Mayans and Aztecs. Cotton wasn't just practical, it was sacred, a gift from nature. A healing fiber trusted across cultures for comfort, purity, and even ritual. From earth to stem, from root to leaf, it grows in silence, calm belief. The cotton blooms, a snowy crown, a beauty spreading all around. When cotton finally reached Europe in the 1600s, people fell in love. It was softer and cooler than wool, and easier to clean than linen. The Industrial Revolution supercharged cotton production. Machines like the spinning jenny and the cotton gin made it affordable for the masses. Some 18th–19th century cotton, velvet clothing. It became the world's favorite fabric, but at a cost. Colonial plantations relied on enslaved labor, especially in the Americas. Cotton's beauty was deeply entangled in pain. The European scientist from Western Europe credited with inventing plastic is Leo Baekeland, a Belgian chemist. In 1907 Baekeland invented Bakelite, which is considered the first true synthetic plastic. Bakelite was revolutionary because it was a durable, heat-resistant material, and it marked the beginning of the modern plastics industry. Baekeland's invention played a crucial role in the development of plastics as a significant material for various industries. It also had unintended and negative consequences for both health and the environment over time. As plastic production spread into food packaging, synthetic fabrics, and a wide range of consumer goods, it led to several issues. The rise of synthetic fabrics, World War II-era factories, birth of polyester. In the 20th century, a new kind of fabric appeared, synthetics. Nylon, polyester, acrylic, cheap, wrinkle-free, and factory-made. Petrochemical companies promoted them as the future of fashion. Nylon was indeed the first synthetic fabric made from plastic, and it was invented by Wallace Carothers and his team at DuPont in 1935. It was initially developed as a synthetic substitute for silk and was first used commercially in products like women's stockings. During World War II, nylon gained widespread importance as it was used extensively for making parachutes, ropes, and other military materials due to its strength, durability, and lightweight properties. The war effort accelerated the production and use of nylon in various military applications. After the war, nylon became a popular material in consumer products, particularly in clothing like hosiery, and later expanded into other fabrics, including upholstery and even carpets. The birth of plastic clothing, retro 1950s shiny new factories, science labs, women in vintage polyester dresses. By the 1950s, plastics evolved fast, flexible, moldable, and cheap to produce. It was space-age optimism. Scientists figured out how to turn plastic polymers, derived from petroleum and coal, into fibers. And just like that, we entered the age of synthetic fabrics and plastic. Polyester, launched to the public as a miracle fiber, no ironing, no shrinking. The fabric of the future. By the 1950s and 60s, synthetics like nylon, acrylic, spandex, and polyester exploded into the fashion world. They were cheap, easy to mass produce, and didn't wrinkle, so manufacturers and advertisers pushed polyester hard. But what no one told the public was this: these new fabrics weren't made by nature. They were made by refined oil, and they would never break down. Today, over 60% of global clothing is made from plastic-based fibers. And the consequences? Plastic trash is everywhere. From fashion to food, the plastic problem grows. Groceries store plastic everywhere. As plastics took over fashion, they also took over our food. By the late 1950s, in Americas and Western Europe, plastic packaging was everywhere: cling wrap, bottles, trays, bags. It promised convenience and cleanliness? No, it came with an invisible price. Since the 1950s, America and Western Europe were falling in love with plastic, synthetic clothes. Plastic-wrapped food was on the front line. Everything was shiny, new, and disposable. They called it the modern miracle. However, in Eastern Europe things were different: street markets, glass bottles, paper bags, baskets. But where I come from, Eastern Europe, things were very different. We didn't grow up with plastic. We brought baskets, canvas bags and woven, expandable cotton nets to the market. We also grew our own food like organic veggies, berries, fruit trees and herbs. If we live in the city, people would have opportunity to get a free piece of land in the country to grow all our vegetation in it, called dacha. We purchased or baked fresh, wholesome bread, milk in glass bottles, and vegetables wrapped in brown paper in paper bags. Our clothes were mostly natural: cotton, wool, or linen, often handmade, sewn, knitted or passed down through generations. I was able to sew and knit my own clothes since I was 8 years old. School children were asked to do monthly recycling of old papers, newspapers and old metal like iron. We needed bringing it to school for recycling. 1960s to 1989 Eastern Europe. Natural living, by necessity and be self-sustainable. 1990s. Import of plastic goods from Western Europe. It wasn't until the mid-1990s and early 2000s, after the borders opened and global markets expanded, that plastic packaging flooded our shelves. Western artificial snacks in bright wrappers, canned or plastic bottle soda drinks, and polyester fashion started appearing suddenly. The modern world came with a plastic price tag. Plastic in rivers, forests, landfills. Even our rivers and forests are littered with plastic. The soil is contaminated, mountains of waste are growing, and microplastics are found in the food we grow. It didn't start with us, but we're living with the consequences of globalization. And the outcome from globalization: plastic pollution everywhere. Today, over 400 million tons of plastic are produced every year. Most of it is used once, and thrown away. From fast fashion to food wrappers, plastic waste ends up in our rivers, forests, and even mountain ranges. Tons of plastic waste ends up in our rivers, oceans. But plastic doesn't go away. It just breaks down into microplastics, tiny toxic particles that poison our soil, water, and air. These particles leach chemicals into the earth, harming crops, reducing soil fertility, and disrupting ecosystems. It is global plastic pollution hotspots, ocean gyres, rivers in Asia, Africa, and landfills near cities. Plastic has been found in the deepest parts of the ocean, the Arctic snow, and even inside the bodies of sea creatures, birds, and humans. Microplastics inside fish, then inside animals and human organs. And every time we eat food wrapped in plastic, or wear clothes made from plastic-based fabrics, it kills our flora and fauna. We're adding to this global toxic cycle. The hidden danger: microplastics and health risks. Recent studies found microplastics in human lungs, blood, and even placentas. These plastics act as endocrine disruptors. They mimic hormones, interfere with fertility, thyroid function, and cause cancer risks. Comprehensive solutions to plastic pollution. Ban or heavily regulate single-use plastics. Globally phase out non-essential single-use plastics, straws, cutlery, bags, wrappers. Replace with compostable, reusable, or refillable alternatives. Burning plastic releases extremely toxic fumes, including dioxins, furans, and heavy metals, that harm human health, soil, and air quality. Instead of incineration, repurposing plastic waste through melting and molding into durable items like benches, bricks, and trash bins is a far safer, smarter solution. Create a circular economy for old plastics. Design plastic products for reuse and full recyclability. Build infrastructure to collect, sort, and recycle effectively. Right now, only approximately 9% of plastic is recycled. Promote extended producer responsibility laws to make manufacturers responsible for the full life cycle of their packaging. Mass investment in alternatives. Scale up production of materials like mushroom-based packaging, mycelium, seaweed-based films, palm leaves, banana fiber, hemp, cotton, and jute for clothing and packaging. Support biodegradable and home compostable innovations, not just industrial compost-only ones. Public awareness and education. Teach consumers how to reduce plastic use, recycle properly, and demand change. Promote zero-waste lifestyles, refill stations, and sustainable fashion choices. Hold polluters accountable. Pressure corporations and governments through policy and activism. Litigate or give a penalty to companies that violate environmental standards or greenwash plastic as recyclable when it's not. Restore ecosystems. Clean up plastic waste already in oceans, rivers, and communities. Support rewilding and habitat restoration projects that plastic pollution has damaged. And with regenerative farming, cotton can even improve soil health and fight climate change. When grown responsibly, cotton is not just sustainable, it's restorative. Encourage modern designers using organic cotton, local artisans, eco-brands. Choosing natural over toxic, slow artisan over fast fashion. We don't have to wear poison to look good. Our clothes should breathe with us, not break us down. It's time to return to what our ancestors knew all along. Wear what heals you. Wear what heals the earth. Let cotton make its full comeback, seed by seed, beautiful thread by thread. Change at the source is the golden rule. If we stop making new plastic and support regenerative materials and circular economies, we break the cycle. And how do you recycle your plastic? Please write in the comment section below. From earth to sky, from hand to hand, you grace the world, both soft and grand. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.